a few questions. Well, it's really only one question. But I want to share something with you all that I learned or discovered this week. It was hilarious, but it was also perfectly fitting. I see Mother Lillian's waving at me. You just wanted me to say your name. I see you. Good evening, good day, good morning. I'm not going to be on here long tonight, but I heard something this week that was so funny. I had to share it with you all. So listen up. Here it goes.
She's a whale of a woman.
Listen.
A whale of a woman.
It's by Zawadi, so I don't want to write some song. But isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? I'm a whale of women out there. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Whale of a woman. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? I thought that was hilarious.
A whale of a
Hilarious. I couldn't help myself. I had to just share that one with you all. So first of all, fins up. Fins up, ladies, fins up. So I'm starting the whole fins up. You know, we're talking about us ladies coming together. I hope your week has been going well. But listen, tonight I just really wanted to talk about the word challenge, challenges. Some people have been inboxing me. The video from last week is self-destructed, so you better stay on this journey with me, or you know, you never know what just might happen. But tonight I want to talk about the word challenges. The word challenges. I've been getting inboxes from many of you, so thank you. Thank you for the inboxes and your questions and just your comments, your salutations and congratulations and all those things. So just because you asked, we started a community, a Whale of Woman community. So you can find us on Facebook. There is a group page that's called Whale of Woman. So I invite you to stop by there and become a part of our community. We've got some wonderful things that are going to be going on, and we just thank you in advance for all that God is doing. So, Whale of Woman. As many of you know, I have written my very first book, Whale of Woman, and it's in the final stages now, getting ready to go into print. So I'm super excited and on tiptoe anticipation that very soon the book will be available. A lot of you have already purchased the book, and a lot of you have already sown seeds and made generous offerings and donations. So I just want to thank you for that in advance, for being a part of my journey. There are some goodies that are being designed for those people that were the first, and I can't let it out the bag just yet and tell you who they are, but I am going to be doing something very special for those people that jumped right on, that were love in action, and actually supported the movement and supported the project and the work right away. So tonight I want to talk about the word challenges. One of the songs that comes to my spirit or came to my spirit today, y'all probably know her. She's one of my favorite artists, and it truly keeps me encouraged. But I want to just tell you this, that in order for anything in your life to change, you're going to have to be challenged. And this song, y'all know it, it's by Tamla Mann. Listen, come on, let that permeate in your spirit for a minute. Let it permeate, let it just, let it in. That's Tamla Mann. Let it in. Let it in. Y'all, come on, let it in. If you want something different, you're going to have to do something different. It's going to cost you something. So I just wanted to give you all that little tidbit of something from Tamla Mann tonight. If you want to see something different, you're going to have to do something different. So when it comes to the word challenges, there's various definitions of the word challenges. It's breaking or disputing the truth. Sometimes they're contest challenges, people call them. I like to look at challenges as opposition or an interrogation, if you will. So I'm going to be talking a lot about challenges in the book because there's things that show up in all of our lives. I'm going to be sharing something very personal in the book where I had a true moment of rage, and it almost literally cost me my life. So I'll be talking a lot about that in the book. Well, not a whole lot, but enough. And but I'm putting more attention and focus on realizing that there's going to be some things that show up in our life, and in order for us to see something different, we're going to have to be required to do something different. One of the scriptures that come to mind for me right away is Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10. It says, do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is our strength. We have to remember that even in those tough times, even in these rough and tough times, when things get rugged, when things get raggedy, that God is the joy of our strength. So one of the things you may have to do when it comes to changing is you may have to dislodge some people that you are accustomed to. I think I shared that last week when we were talking about commitment. Sometimes we're committed to the wrong things. And there's some litmus tests that we need to actually perform to identify if we are attached, connected to some of the wrong things. Some of the wrong things might be businesses, ministries, people, relationships. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that. So much so that I wanted to ask you all tonight, what are some of the things that are challenging you? What outside, with all of the things that are happening in the world with this pandemic, what's challenging you the most? What is actually rising up? And as it's rising up, I want to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you back. I'm going to push back on you and say that you have got to protest. As part of a challenge is a protest. You got to push your way through. You got to push your way to experience an exhilaration of victory. The only way you're going to be able to overcome that challenge is to push your way through, accept the challenge, and experience an exhilaration of victory is when you decide and choose to stay uncomfortable. Because I think it was Frederick Douglass who said that there is no progress without struggle. So you can count on it. You can count on the challenge. In fact, what we should be doing right now is preparing for it before it shows up. So that's our best defense, is to prepare offense. I know nobody really watches football much anymore, but that is our defense, is to be equipped in our offense. And that's really all I wanted to share tonight, is that we have to be positioned right now for these challenges, for the challenges that show up in our lives, in our mind, in our money, in our finances, the challenges that show up in our emotional health, that show up in our physical health. We have to be willing to rise right on up, just like the whale. Rise up and be willing to accept the challenge. Accept the challenge. Say, I can do this. I can do this. I can overcome this. I've been here before. And because God is so intentional, he makes no mistakes. He makes no mistakes. And because he's so intentional, yeah, you've been picked out to be picked on with this particular challenge. So with that being said, what will you do to change? How will you rise up? How will you rise up and overcome in this challenge? The people of God right now, we have to rise up and we have to move forward. We have to be willing to make the adjustment no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like. We have to rise up and make the adjustment. That's the uniqueness of an eagle. An eagle doesn't complain. An eagle makes the adjustment. And that's what we have to do as men and women of God. We have to be willing to stand up to the challenge. Speaking of challenges, I've got a challenge that I'm going to be putting out. In fact, it's already been put out. I'm going to be doing a 3-day challenge starting next month, and I'll tell you more about that coming up next week. So that's all I have for tonight. I want to also thank all of you that have already purchased the book. If you haven't, I'm encouraging you, men that are watching tonight, go out and grab that book. Grab it for the special women in your life, because the book, yes, it is created and devised for women, because I'm a woman and I'm an expert at being a woman, but it's also for these men that love women, these women that are well-loved women. Y'all heard that song earlier today. Well-loved women, those women that are willing to fight, that are willing to go against the grain, that are willing to stand up to the vicissitudes and the challenges of life. So there you have it. You are being challenged by me tonight to change. Y'all heard me share that scripture with Nehemiah. I also want to leave you with one of my favorite, which is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10, that says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. We find safety. So we have to know that even when these challenges come up, that we can find safety in God. We can trust that he will be there, that he will never fail us, and that he never goes back on his word. So I thank you, Shawana, for putting up the link to the book. There's many of you that have already purchased the book. Please be sure to join the community over at Well of Woman on Facebook, that Facebook group. I shared a little bit last week. I let it out the bag that we're going to be also putting together a splash zone. Fins up. I got my shirt off with my fins up. A splash zone. If you know anything about a splash zone, it's enter at your own risk. That's where we're going to have the real hearty and meat and potato conversations. And they will definitely be a splash of a zone. All right. So that's all I have for tonight. I hope you all are doing well. I hope God is showing up strong in your life. I hope you're willing to stand firm and stand up to the challenges and be committed. Stay committed. Stay committed. Do what you said you were going to do. Show up for yourself. Show up. Just show up. If you show up, then you'll also be able to stand up. And if you stand up, then you can continue to run. So that's all I have for tonight. I told you all it would be short. You all inbox me if you have more questions about what's happening concerning the book. I have some special people that are going to be a part of the launch, and you'll hear more about that coming up soon. So again, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being on this journey with me. I want to thank you for showing your love, being love in action, and supporting the mission, supporting the vision for us women that come together and use the pain of our past to push forward and to rise up. So God bless y'all. I'll see you next week, and keep this in mind that although the waves may come in, no matter what they feel like, you can count on the fact that those waves, they will go out. So I'll see you all next week. I will see y'all next week. I will. All right. I see people waving at me. I see you, Sister Tish, waving at me. I see you. Brother Charles Thompson, I see y'all waving at me. I see y'all waving at me. I see you waving at me tonight. I'm grateful and thankful for all of you. So again, we're talking about challenges. We were talking about challenges and commitment. Commitment last week, and we're talking about challenges tonight. But that's all I've got for now. So you all go out and grab that book. There should be a link in this live. If you haven't purchased the book, go out and get it, because there's some other good stuff that's going to be coming behind it. And I should tell you all this, since I can't seem to say goodbye, I should share this with you. Those of you that pre-ordered the book, those will be autographed copies that you will be receiving from me. Maybe my signature will be worth millions someday. But in the meantime, you will be getting those autographed copies of the book, as well as some other goodies that we have set aside just for you. And for those of you that pre-ordered the book, and some of you that are still, I don't know what happened to our light. Our light just went away. But I hope you all can see me. I pray that God continues to stand firm in your life, and you continue to trust him, even in the challenges, even in the vicissitudes of life. You're going to make it. I'll see y'all next week.